Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel again. I am so sorry I haven't been posting for a very long time now. I've been so bombarded over the Easter period and before that with my usual work. It left a lot of things behind, so hopefully I can start catching up with things. Got so much recording that I've done. Now just have to go through editing and putting them up hopefully for everybody to enjoy. So thank you so much if you still remember my channel and came back to watch my videos. So let's start again. So today we've got Paula's hands. This is one of a very old set, so probably a month ago or more than a month ago did it now. Just finished up removing her usual set before, and then we trim them to the desired length and add primer or solution number 1 on them. Now we're going through with dipping the base coat. Just remind for any of my new viewer, I'm more specialized in dipping, so most of my designs on the channel are based on dipping. I have technical video comes out as well, and mainly I will have my nails at work video, which is one of these that you're watching. Is a real sessions that I've done on my real client that's been recorded, and now I'm putting them out just to show what we achieved. So we finished dipping the base coat, and as usual the base is always only covering up to 80% of the nails. Now we're moving on to the first color, which the client has chosen, Paula. She has chosen this sparkle deep purple color, and on the other finger I will do a lighter shade of nude white, but it is meant to be a UV thermal color, so which means it's a lighter shade in indoor area, and then when you go outside it will change to a different color tone as it's meet up with the UV or the sunlight. But for our first color we're only going to use this dark dipping purple color. So when you do your second layer, which is your first color layer, always do the nails 100% coverage and then dip it as much as possible. If you get any chunky bit, that means the solution we put on was a little bit too much. Just go through with a dip and then just pat them down again, and then later on you can use the e-file to smooth them out. So now we're about to come in with our second coat of the color. In hindsight, I would usually recommend to do the dark color after the light color, just so you don't clean your brush properly and then you end up contaminate the dark color into your light color. But on this instant, I carry out with the dark color first. But then I have to make sure that I clean out my brush very carefully before putting it back to the bottle or before putting it onto the lighter color. Now we're coming back for the third coat. So I went and done the same for the other hand. After 3 coats of color, then you want to dip in a clear coat on the top. What the clear coat does is protect your color, and also if when you do the filing later with the e-file, if you end up going down a little bit too much, it won't affect the base color because you'll probably be working just on the clear coat. So after you completely finish with all the color layering, then you use the activator at the very end. So the activator comes on just to set the color. So now we're moving on to our design nails. So as mentioned before, I'm using a thermal changing color. Now this is a DIY color, so I made this color myself. So what I did, I bought the thermal powder. So you can see when the UV lights go over, it changes the color. Where it was white and now it would become pink. So that will act the same when you go outside, because whenever you're outside, that's where you get UV. And then when you go back inside, it will change back to the lighter tone of color again. What I was saying before, I bought the packet of what's called a UV thermal color, and then I just mixed it with a little bit of off-white dipping color and a lot of clear color. So it takes a lot of blending because I didn't anticipate for the UV thermal powder to come very clay. It's not as fine as your usual dipping, so it's taken a little bit of grinding actually and mixing to make sure that it's fine enough so that when it goes onto the nails it will go on smooth and even color. So this is the first coat of our design nails with our thermal color. So you can see it comes on like a off-white color. The color itself will be in a kind of a chalky off-white tone, so I thought it was easier to mix with an off-white color. And you can tell I have a fair bit of clear in it, and that's why it's become kind of a nude white, not a sort of a milky base white. So we come back for the second layer. Sorry, camera is a bit blurry. It's focusing on my fingers instead of on the nails. So when you put on your solution, always try to be as neat as possible, because wherever your solution goes on, that will be where your powder will stick to. And now I'm doing the third layer. So once the base color is done, I'm going to put a little bit of junky glitters. So I've got a collection of a bit of a chunky sort of mermaid glitters. I'm going to randomly put it on top of the base color, just to give it a little bit more reflections as you look into the nails rather than just that off nude white color. But if you prefer to have a bland matte color, you can just keep it as it is. So I'm just using my base as my adhesive. I'm putting my base where I want the glitters to be attached, and then dip it into the clear. So I'm not wanting glitters all over, just scattering across the nails. So next layers come back is overlaying over the glitters with clear again. Doing design using the thermal color, I guess it's a bit tricky because you have to think how the design would work on both color tone, on the lighter color tone and on the darker color tone when it go outside. So once you finish, activators go on to set everything. So this finger again, base on where you want the glitters to be, and then just put the glitters on. There's different ways that you can use to attach your glitters. In this instance, I used the actual solution brush from the bottle. You can use tweezer, you can use fan brush as well, depending on the size of your glitters, or even the cuticle spoon sometimes. So second layer is a clear to encapsulate the glitters. Encapsulates or overlays, the same thing. When you do encapsulating, try to put a little bit more of solution if you can, and let it sit in the clear powder for a little bit, but then brushing the excess powder off straight away, so that to give you a more clearer overlay top. Because with dipping, the longer you let the powder set in the nails, and if there's not enough of the base, it will tend to become cloudy. That works both with the lighter color and especially clear. So we'll do the same on the other hand now, putting on 3 coats of the base color and then adding in the glitters. Quickly test the nail. So you can see I've got my purple torch, the UV torch. So as I shine it on the thermal color, it's changed it to that dark pink base. So that means my vision worked. So now we moved on to the filing and the shaping. I'll let the video run because I don't think there's much explanation required, and I'll meet you at the other end once we get ready to finish our design nails. So our nails are all file and buff, nice and smooth, and it's ready for our top coat. With the dark purple, I'm just going to go ahead and put a activator layer on, so then I can put the dip top on top. With the design nails, I'm going to add a little bit more stamping design on it, so I'm not going to put any activator on. So here I got my stamping polishes and my stamping plate. I'm just going to use the random line features just to go across the nail, because the white color tend to be a little bit bland on its own. So I'm going to add a little bit of purple lines to go through, a bit of silver as well, I think, so that the design can pop in both of the lighter tone and the darker tone. I think this is my Nicole diary plate. I'll have the description of the plate in the description box. So you get your roller lint, clean up your stamper. Got my scraper, and now we're going to start with my color. So I've got a light silvery purple, so I'm picking up just random lines pattern and just lay it across the nails. up and then just roll it over your nails. I'm doing 2 different tones of colour as I mentioned before. So now I'm going back with a darker purple. I'm using Cat's stamping polish at the moment. You can catch my previous video where I was testing out Cat's polishes against other polishes as well, or stamping polishes. So that's pretty much our stamping effect. I'm adding my smudge-free top coat over the stamping. If you watched my previous video before, this is my trick to go to, so I can use a dipping top over the stamping. So now I'm just going to repeat on the other hand, and that's pretty much, we just got to come back and do the top coat. So once all the stamps are done, I'm just going to go back with a little bit of sticky tape and just clean up anything that's sitting on the cuticle. I think this is just an easier method than running the cuticle mask. So you just need a good sticky tape side and just pick it up from your cuticle while you're waiting for that smudge-free top coat to be dried. That's it. So now we put activator back on all the nails again. Usually you will put activator, wait it for 30 seconds and then your nails will be ready for the dip top. If you put your dip top on too early when the activator is still wet, that's where it will harden up your brush. So the activator is what will harden up your brush. So make sure you wipe your brush as well before you're dipping it back into the bottle. So the first layer is very quick layer. Don't have to worry about full coverage of the nails. Do as much as you can, about 95% of the nails, but you don't have to go through a full coverage. It's the second coat of the dip top where you come back, you can take a little bit more longer in time and then do a more thorough coverage on all the nails. So usually after I put the dip top on, I will put my timer on for about 6-7 minutes and ask the client not to move the hand. It has to be lying flat while the dip top is drying. Just testing out a little bit of the UV lights again to make sure the color does change it. And when your top coat is fully dry, you just gotta go back and put on the cuticle oil. And that's it for now. Thank you very much for staying with me again, and thank you for coming back with me after such a long break. Hopefully, finger crossed, the next video will be on as scheduled, which is on a Tuesday and on a Saturday. Have a good weekend and I'll see you then. Thank you.